Okay, I thought during this demo I would share with you what I've been doing the past week, week and a half. I've been doing illustrations for the politically conservative magazine, The American Spectator. I've been a fan of their magazine ever since it first came out, and now I'm very privileged that I can actually do illustrations for them. And I don't even remember how many I did this week. It was quite a few. And people are always wondering, well, how can you do a painting overnight? How can you do sometimes very complex scenes with very little time given to you? And the answer is, I'm not necessarily a fast painter. I try to be an accurate painter. So think of it in terms of archery. If you've got one archer and he shoots 30 arrows in 30 seconds, but he only hits the target twice, well, compare that to a guy who maybe only shot 5 arrows in that same 30 seconds, but he hit every single time. So who's the more accurate one? Well, obviously the guy who hit the target more. And that's what we do when we paint is, if your drawing is accurate, each stroke you make is accurate, it's where it's supposed to be, then you don't have to keep noodling around with it. And if your color choices are confident and direct, then you're not sitting there, really trying to figure out, well, what am I going to do? And so that really is one of the key secrets to being a fast painter, is to be experienced and just, you got to put some time into it to get better, but also just focusing on being an accurate draftsman and really having well thought out color choices rather than trying to jump in and just with lightning speed scribble down some brush strokes, because that's usually not going to be very effective. The other thing that is really important, I heard another painter say this on a YouTube tutorial that I was listening to. He said, done is better than perfect. And boy, that is so true. Now, don't misunderstand. He was not advocating, nor am I advocating, shoddy work, poor draftsmanship, bad color choices, nothing like that. It's just that it's so easy to beat ourselves to death and take a really good painting and with just a couple of extra strokes turning it into a really bad painting. There's the law of diminishing returns, where if you spend, let's say, 5 hours doing a painting, is adding another 5 hours really going to make it twice as good or 10 times as good? Usually that's probably not the case. Normally, you'll have your own particular speed at which you can go, and you'll get your painting blocked in and you'll get it all worked out. But then there's that tendency, that temptation to play with it, to try to tweak it just a little more. And invariably, what you wind up doing is taking something that was probably very fresh and very dynamic and just slowly turning it into a belabored, just a mess. And so I would encourage you to keep that in mind, that if you're sitting there and you're just really focusing to the point of obsession on one or two little areas, a couple of little brush strokes or something, then it's probably time to quit. You've probably done as well as you're going to do on that painting, and you need to move on to the next one. And the last thing I'd like to say is that the key to getting better is doing as many paintings as possible. Taking 6 months to do one painting is not going to teach you a whole lot. But doing a painting a week over 6 months, you will learn a tremendous amount. Doing a painting a day, you'll learn even more. And so I would encourage you that if you're not producing a large quantity of paintings, then your learning curve is probably greatly diminished, because it it's just like anything else. It just takes practice to get better. And practice is not taking one painting and beating the poor thing to death. Practice is starting a painting, taking it to a decent logical conclusion, and then moving on to the next one. That way you can experiment, that way you can try new things, you can play and have some fun. So that's what I wanted to share with you during this demo. I'm going to stop talking and let you watch as I finish up. But thank you so much for being one of my subscribers. And if you're not, I would encourage you to please do so, and feel free to comment, and I'll try to respond when I can. Thanks so much. If you've enjoyed this episode of The Arthropologist, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to see more episodes like this, think about subscribing. I'm Bill Wilson, and I'm The Arthropologist.